Hey Shakers, and welcome to Worth Your Salt, the podcast that shakes up your marketing game in the health and wellness industry. Worth Your Salt is brought to you by Salt Marketing. Salt Marketing helps health and wellness practitioners build trust and authority to attract a steady stream of inbound wellness seekers. For more information, you can visit us online at saltmarketing.co. I'm Jennifer Oraquah, StoryBrand Certified Guide, Marketing Strategist with Salt Marketing, and your host for today's episode of Worth Your Salt. Now, if you have big dreams and big ideas for your business, you're probably pretty good at casting that vision and supporting your clients. But you may not be so great at those operational details of running your business. Things like budgets, data analytics, process improvement, hiring, because juggling all the things on your own is hard. And if you've found yourself seriously underestimating the amount of time it takes to complete a project, if you're bombarded constantly with texts and calls and emails, DMs, or if you haven't even taken a detailed look at your marketing and your sales, your client satisfaction, your financial metrics and ages, if ever, then my guest today is just who you need to hear from. Teri Clanton is the owner of Wellness Business Services. She works as a strategic partner to wellness entrepreneurs, providing full suite operations support, including strategy mapping, hiring for cultural fit, helping you launch programs, even tech system setups. Teri is a certified director of operations with over 20 years of administrative experience, and she's here today to tell us how building rock-solid operations can mean phenomenal growth for your practice. Teri, thank you so much for joining me today on Worth Your Salt.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad to be here.
I honestly feel like the universe kind of conspired to bring us together. I can't wait to learn about what you do to help businesses, primarily those in health and wellness, succeed operationally. So first, I want to know, how did you end up starting Wellness Business Services? What's your background and how did operations become your passion?
Yeah, so I was working in for-profit businesses and a nonprofit organization total for, like you mentioned, about 2 decades. Mostly doing administrative work, including C-suite support. Over that time, had done some project management, very small projects, all the way up to ones that were about $100,000 for budgets and expenses and all of that. Total, did some marketing support, updated websites, helped with hiring and training, and then even helped with fundraising events. So I went through my own personal health journey and found my passion in health and wellness. So at my last employer, the writing was kind of on the wall that I had hit the glass ceiling of my career trajectory. There really wasn't any room for advancement. The same was true with the pay as well. So I had heard about virtual assistants from my administrative professional association. I decided to combine my administrative experience with my passion for health and wellness to offer virtual assistant services. So I was actually working full-time for that employer, part-time from home, doing customer service for a meal planning SaaS or software as a service company and setting up my business at the same time.
Wow.
It was pretty intense
That's a lot.
for about 18 months, give or take. I officially launched my business in December 2020, again, doing virtual assistant work. And then about 2 years into it, decided I wanted to up-level my skills and my services too. And so I took an in-depth 6 months operation certification program to really learn more about running a successful business.
Very nice. And obviously multitasking comes easily to you, but what's your superpower? Like, on your website, you talk about get your business operations shiz together. What makes you the go-to person for that?
Oftentimes business owners with a thriving practice get overwhelmed serving clients, managing the team, and running the business. And they are working more hours than they want, which can obviously lead to burnout. Or they decide to establish a boundary that they don't want to work that many hours, which can result in their business plateauing or even declining. So they're not really making as much of an impact as they know they're capable of. And entrepreneurship can even be a lonely endeavor if they don't have somebody to bounce their visionary ideas off of and help them execute and make them happen. So a lot of health and wellness business owners, they don't think about having a director of operations or online business manager who essentially serves as their strategic right hand and manager. Some may assume that that's appropriate and available only for Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000 companies, but that's simply not the case. So if you have a corporate background or really have worked any job, if you think back to the company that you worked for, you probably had HR, a middle manager that you reported to, an administrative team, accounting, and so on. Essentially an operational layer to the company. So I'm really analytical and I love strategizing to help business owners flesh out an idea. or solve a problem. And I also really enjoy managing projects and planning. I come in and take a lot off of their plate with a complementary, oftentimes opposite skill set to theirs, which brings balance and stability to the business. And the neat thing is that can positively impact their personal life too.
Yeah.
So the nitty gritty of really what this looks like is I do strategic planning with them so that there is clarity, direction, and a plan for the year. I hire when needed and manage the team day to day, delegating and overseeing the tasks so that the CEO's ideas are executed with excellence, on time, on budget, so that we meet and hopefully even exceed our goals. I help foster a positive, healthy company culture. I gather and review marketing, accounting, and sales data with the CEO so they can make informed decisions. Because I find that oftentimes that is a big piece that is lacking and something that gets pushed to the back burner or never even really addressed. Or maybe they look at, okay, well, we had this much revenue this month, but they don't really dive a whole lot deeper. And then lastly, I create or refine processes, set up automations when possible, and document procedures. So we're covered if something unexpected happens, like attrition or a temporary leave of absence.
And that all makes sense. And I think a lot of us can relate to that sense of overwhelm of it's just too much. And I think, I found this particularly in the health and wellness space that, you're taught how to do a thing and you're really good at that. Say, I'm a massage therapist or I'm a chiropractor, but you're not taught how to run a business, how to, attract clients, how to do that in the right ways and make those good data-based decisions. So tell me a little bit about what you actually do at Wellness Business Services. How do you help us have those rock solid business operations?
Well, every business has its strengths and challenges. And so I look for the opportunities for improvement or areas where things are misaligned for where the CEO is headed, where they want to take their business. So this could be improving the client or patient experience, streamlining processes and setting up automations to increase efficiency, documenting standard operating procedures or SOPs to provide continuity as the team changes or something unexpected happens. I also will do a cost analysis when needed to help decide which tech tool are we going to use, because sometimes that can also help us reduce expenses. And sometimes even the team can be near or at max capacity. And then the CEO has this brilliant idea. They want to launch this new service or this new group program, but they don't fully realize how maxed out the team is. And that's no shade to the CEO at all. They're juggling a ton. So I can come to them with data and we can have a conversation so they can make an informed decision, whether it's time to stop doing certain tasks or maybe it's even time to hire. So really, at the end of the day, I'm doing what a lot of business owners may not feel is their strength or their preference. They got into health and wellness so they can help people. And this allows them to focus on the work that they love and frankly, the tasks that really they can only do in their business.
I'm listening to everything you're saying and all the wonderful things that you can take care of. But how do we know if we really need you? Like, I'm wondering, what are the typical help Terri moments that you get? Like, what do clients throw at you? How do you help them get over those humps and get into a rhythm and use your services wisely?
Yeah, sometimes the help Terri moments show up in tech. And my clients tend to be a little tech challenged to varying degrees. And I'm okay with that. I'm used to that. And I will help set up CRM or EHR to address the challenges that they're facing or make changes in that database or system so that they're getting the most out of the tool that they're using. So you've probably heard the saying, hire before you're ready. So if you're already swamped, that's really hard to do, especially, to take the time to slow down and to go through the hiring process and then also to train. It can be a long process to do that well. If the process is rushed due to time constraints, you may not end up with the best fit, unfortunately. So I can handle the majority of this for the business owner. They're involved in an initial needs assessment call where I really dive deep on what does the company need currently in their new hire. They will answer a few emails and then they are involved in the final round of interviews. And then they will select the candidate that they feel is the best fit for their business because ultimately it's their business. They need to make that judgment call for themselves. But I will be there to provide my insight and guidance along the way for sure. So if I'm already involved in a business as their director of operations / online business manager and know how to do the job that's being hired for, then I can also train the new team member. And it just takes a ton off of their plate and saves them so many hours.
Absolutely. All right, Terri, I am so inspired to look at operations in just a whole new way. We have to take a quick sponsorship break right now, but when we come back, I want to talk about some of the specifics of how you've helped health and wellness practitioners succeed. As a wellness practitioner, you want to reach as many people with your solutions as you can. But when the only model that exists for that is face-to-face interaction, it can be difficult to scale. There's only so much of you to go around, right? That's where sharing your expertise in a membership portal or an online course can open up a world of possibility. Memberium is online software that helps subject matter experts like you build online courses to teach others. Service businesses can use Memberium to onboard new clients, collect client information that's sent directly to a CRM, guide those clients through a membership site, and wow them from the start. Memberium can also be used to provide internal training to your team to help you duplicate yourself, run things consistently, and provide a stellar experience for everyone who interacts with your business. If you're thinking about starting a membership site or offering an online course, download Memberium's free guide to avoiding the mistakes most new membership site owners make. Access it for free at saltmarketing.co/Memberium. With this download, you'll get clear direction on what to focus on as you build out your membership site, saving you both time and money. Access it at saltmarketing.co/Memberium. We're back here on the Worth Your Salt podcast with Teri Clanton, operations expert and owner of Wellness Business Services. So Terri, how could someone know if it's time to call in the cavalry, aka your services? Any SOS signals to watch out for?
Yes, it's important for entrepreneurs to take a few minutes to check in with themselves. Ask yourself, how are you feeling about your business? How are you feeling about the work that you're doing? Is there anything that you dislike doing or you don't feel like it's your strength? Equally important is, are you living according to your values and boundaries, or do you feel like something is off? So just to give you an example, if family is your top priority, the business will need to revolve around your personal life. That means that your business model needs to be structured in such a way that it provides some flexibility in the hours that you work or the duties that you handle. So if you're trying to do all the things or nearly all the things, then that's not going to be an aligned fit. So another signal to look for is there a lot of turnover in the business? That's definitely something to pay attention to, because if there is, there's a reason for it. So we need to dig down and figure out, what is that reason? Is it the pay that you're able to pay or willing to pay? Is it the company culture? Is it piling too much work on one person when you would be better served to hire two people for less hours each? And if morale is low or communication is lacking, those are some other signs to keep an eye out for. And honestly, when those things are happening, that may be a signal that it's time to hire a director of operations or online business manager.
Thinking about your clients, what separates sort of the wellness champs who work with you from those who decide to go it alone and might struggle? Is there a mindset there? What separates people?
Yeah, I see that scalability is a big factor. So for those with a big vision that want to make as big of an impact as possible, it's difficult to feel like you're serving at your highest capacity when you're a solopreneur. It can be done to some degree. And there is always that phase of business where you have to get, through that. And that's okay. But you want to keep an eye out for, what are some things that I can delegate and offload, even just starting with perhaps 2 or 3 hours a week. I also find that those that are open to new ideas tend to succeed at a higher level, because we truly are better together.
Are there any specific wellness industry clients that kind of like keep you on your toes? How do you tackle unique challenges in this industry?
Yeah, visionaries have a lot of ideas and a lot of great ideas. They like to run fast and far, and they want to do a lot all at the same time. So I feel like that really keeps me on my toes in terms of managing all of the projects that they want to do and helping set expectations and prioritizing their ideas so that they actually come to fruition.
Beyond happy clients, I mean, I'm sure that everybody who works with you is much relieved, ready to look for success. How does what you do contribute to the overall efficiency? Cast a vision for success. What does success look like with the businesses that work with you?
Someone in my position can bring a lot of polish and stability to a business so that it can be around for 20 years from now or till the owner is ready to sell the business, if that's their goal. Again, the filters through to their personal life so that they're less stressed, so they can show up for their friends and family in the way that they want, and they can pursue their hobbies too.
Very nice. All right, Terri, it's time for another quick break. We'll be right back after this. Hey, Salt Nation, you're listening to the Worth Your Salt podcast. I'm Jennifer Oraqua, and today I'm talking with Teri Clanton of Wellness Business Services about how you can make a bigger impact and scale your business by focusing on serving your clients while someone else handles the operational details. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to join Salt Marketing over on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, and let us know how you think adding a right-hand strategic partner to oversee your operations will change your business. So, Terri, we've talked a lot about what you do and why you have so many successful clients, but what do you look for in a client? How do you know if someone is a good fit for your services?
Well, I have services like setting up or optimizing practice better, for example, strategic planning and strategy sessions that are appropriate for most businesses, regardless of their size or annual revenue. For retainer work, that's typically appropriate for a bit larger business with a team of at least a few people. And really, this can also vary. It can start at as little as 10 hours a week and go up from there, depending on what the business needs. Now, in terms of personality, I'm pretty down to earth and practical person. I'm high fact finder on the Colby A, no surprise there. So I like working with entrepreneurs that have a growth mindset, not just in business, but even in their personal lives as well, that they want to grow personally within themselves. So perhaps you heard it said that entrepreneurship is the biggest personal growth journey you'll ever take. And I found that to be 100% true. So my values are trust built on integrity and mutual respect, doing work that matters, and being a lifelong learner. So someone that shares those values, then we would work together really well.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm a quick start Colby. I'm sure that's no shock to anyone who knows me either.
Awesome.
Those things tend to reveal what we already know about ourselves. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering what sort of like big ideas or beliefs kind of guide your ship at Wellness Business Services? What makes it all work?
Well, I think that everybody deserves the opportunity to live a healthy and vibrant life, whatever that looks like to them. Health and wellness entrepreneurs deserve to have a business that matches their personal values that they feel proud of. It should be a benefit to their life, not something that keeps them awake at night or feels soul-sucking even.
Share a moment with me that kind of lights you up about your work. What's the heartbeat of your passion?
I absolutely love seeing individuals, teams, and entrepreneurs succeed. I actually sometimes feel like a behind-the-scenes cheerleader, working hard, strategizing, encouraging the people that I'm working with and rooting for us all to win.
So then what would you say is the cherry on top for you when you're working with a wellness business? How does this industry kind of align with your vibe and values? You've alluded to this, that everyone deserves to have that health and wellness in their lives. So what's something you love to see?
As you know, health is foundational for everything we do in life. It brings freedom to people that are previously suffering with symptoms, whatever that may be. And, from that place, after they have regained their health, really the world is their oyster and they can do anything that they want. And that's really the cherry on top for me.
I love that. All right. So if we want to learn more about you, about Wellness Business Services, or even get started with you, where can we go?
You can find me at wellnessbusinessservices.com. I'm also on Facebook at Wellness Business Services. And I'm on LinkedIn at wellness-business-services.
Very nice. And all of that will be in our show notes as well. And I know you had a special offer for our listeners that you wanted to share as well.
Yes, I have a mini strategy session for $99. And the purpose of this is to get an outside third-party perspective on whatever business decision you are facing. So we can flesh out an idea so you have a better grasp of what it'll take to make it a reality. Because sometimes those quick start visionary entrepreneurs think in big terms and big picture, but they don't really see all of the minute details that it'll take. So they may think, I can do this in 3 weeks, but no, actually, it's going to take about 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we can address a challenge. Perhaps you're struggling with a team member, or you're trying to decide if it's the right time to hire. You can even perhaps be thinking about, should I go with tech system A or tech system B? And we can discuss the pros and cons of those. And even if you want to have a pick my brain session on anything related to the back-end operations of your business and the things that we've talked about today, that time can be used for that. So it's basically a 30-minute, again, strategy session. You get a summary notes with your action items so that you can take action right away, and you will get the session recording as well.
And of course, as I mentioned, the links to everything that Terri mentioned will be available on our website at saltmarketing.co. Right now, Terri, though, it is time for our lightning round questions. And these are a few quick questions that I like to ask of every guest. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. The first question is, what's something about you that surprises people?
Well, with me being very analytical and strategic, people may not think or may not know that I have a bit of a creative bent. I played viola for 7 years while in middle school and high school, and I used to draw a lot, which I want to get back to this year.
People might say viola is also very analytical and data-driven, but it's creative too. All right, next question. What is your favorite thing about the work that you do?
Well, besides strategizing and planning, I enjoy being a part of a team that's helping people get healthy. Impact is really a big driver of mine.
I love that. All right, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
This might sound a little unconventional, but failure is a data point. That is a quote by Pael Kadakia. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. No one likes to fail, obviously, but it doesn't have to be the overwhelming end-all be-all that some people can make it out to be in their minds. Mm-hmm. It's simply information about what didn't work, and then you can take that, make some tweaks, and try again.
Very good. I like that advice. All right, last question. Who or what inspires you?
I am inspired by business owners that are making a big impact and also taking time to enjoy their life, whether it's travel or spending time with their family or whatever that looks like for them.
So anybody can find that balance that we're all looking for.
Yes.
I get that too.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining me on this week's episode of Worth Your Salt, Terri.
Thank you for having me, Jennifer.
I also want to thank our listeners and let you know that if you're ready for your Worth Your Salt debut, tell us about your expertise by emailing us at grow@saltmarketing.co. Be sure to subscribe on our website so you never miss an episode. And finally, leave us a review or give the show a handful of stars wherever you get your content. That's all for this episode of Worth Your Salt. Be sure to join me again next time. In the meantime, let's get out there and shake things up.